Well, good morning. Today is Saturday, May 2nd, and we do have a birthday today. Today is Robbie, I call him Sparkles, over at Frecky Fit Wolf. Today's his birthday. Gets a song. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sparkles. Happy birthday to you. Cha-cha-cha. Happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday dear Robbie, happy birthday to you, cha-cha-cha. Wasn't sure if everybody would know who Sparkles was, but they should know who Sparkles is. Sparkle is? Doesn't sound right, does it? Anyway, Jim's decided he doesn't want to walk this morning, so I'm going to be walking by myself, but I thought I'd sit out here for a little bit. It's a little breezy, but it's beautiful out here. I'm not even going to wear a jacket. I'm just going to wear my little, well, it's a sweatshirt and a t-shirt underneath, which is too big. Because see how big it is? I got on the scale this morning and I lost 0.2. I'll tell you, I was a little disappointed. I thought I lost a little bit more. But my thinking is, I'm going to believe in myself. I know I'm going to get there. It's going to take me a while. I was at 90.6 pounds, and this morning it put me at 89, so I still have to lose 1.6 to get back where I was. I'll get there. I'm not fretting that. I know I'll get there. I'm not worried about it. But, if you believe in yourself, you're halfway there. Well, I'm at least halfway there. Really, I am halfway there, I think, because I would like to get, well, they told me I have to get down to 160, which is still another... Well, maybe I'm a little bit more than halfway there. That would make me, I'd have to lose a total amount of like 146 pounds, something like that. Well, let's see. If I got to get to 160, that's 40. And I'm at 55. So I got to lose another 55 pounds. I'll get there. Where am I going? Anyway, so... Like I said, a little bit disappointed that I didn't have more, but then my thinking was, this is how I logically realized that it was good that I lost 0.2, is look how hard I tried this week. I ate all those extra vegetables, I stayed on plan, I tracked my food, I didn't go off my points, I pretty much stayed within my 23 points, and I lost 0.2. Just think if I wasn't following my plan and I wasn't tracking, I would have had a gain. I definitely would have had a gain, so something is working. I just have to realize that I think my body's just readjusting, because for the 6 weeks of Lent, you saw, if you followed me during Lent, I ate hardly anything. And so I just, what do you call it? I think my body's just readjusting to eating. I think I had mentioned, which I had told Gina Pearson, that's why she was so concerned about the sore on my nose, which ended up, it was like a pimple that had popped, if you saw that the other day. I finally told my kids, because I didn't want to say it on YouTube till I let my kids know, and I kept putting it off and putting it off and putting it off. So I finally did tell them that I had a little incident the day after Good Friday, which was the day before Easter, April 11th. I fast for Lent, which you follow my videos, you know that. And on Good Fridays, I don't eat. So this Good Friday, the day after Good Friday, I had the realization that, yeah, 70-year-old woman needs to eat, because I woke up about 5 or 5:30 in the morning to go to the bathroom, because that's what time I always went to the bathroom all my life, because that's what time I got up to go to work, or I was at work, or whatever. And I felt a little thirsty. So I started to walk into the kitchen to get a glass of water, because I don't drink bathroom water. I know it's the same water, but in my mind it's coming from the toilet. And it's not even close to the toilet, it's across from the toilet, but it's in the plumbing of the bathroom, so I never drink out of the bathroom water. Anyway, that being said, I come out of my bedroom and I turned right to go into the kitchen, and then I thought, no, if I just go to the left, I can go into my TV room, and I know I had a glass of water left there from the night before, so I'm going to go in there. So I went in there to get my glass of water and kind of fell into the chair. Didn't really think too much of it, but kind of fell into the chair. And I drank my water and then sat there for a couple minutes. And then when I went to get up, I was really weak. I just couldn't get up. So I called Jim more than once, because Jim's a very sound sleeper. And he came into the room, and I told him, I said I wasn't feeling well. and could he help me get back to bed? And so he said, yeah, obviously. And so he helped me up, and I put my arm in his arm, and we started walking out of the room. And the next thing I know is I heard somebody yelling at me. Jim calls me Sandra. Sandra! Sandra, wake up! Sandra, wake up! And then I heard him talking to somebody, and I'm thinking, who are you talking to in the middle of the night? No, Jim had called 911 because I wasn't waking up. And he was really afraid, I guess would be the good word for it. And so he called 911, and they, obviously asked, like, he was on speakerphone. And by then I was waking up, and it was like, I was like, where am I? Why is this bed so hard? And then I kind of looked around, and I go, am I on the floor? And Jim says, well, of course you're on the floor. You passed out. You've been unconscious. You're laying on the floor. And so I went to get up, and he says, don't get up. Just stay there. So I stayed laying on the floor and talked to 911. And then they came. They had the ambulance come, and the paramedics and the firemen and all that. Vivid reminiscence of my story I told you the other day about the firemen coming in the middle of the night when I had my convulsions. I didn't look too much better this time either, because I just sleep in a t-shirt and my underwear. And here I was, sprawled on the floor in my t-shirt and my underwear. Yeah. But actually at that point I'd sat up, but Jim wouldn't let me get up. And so then they came in, before they came in the house, they asked, did I have any of the symptoms of, COVID-19? And I said, no, I'm not having any shortness of breath, and I don't have a headache, and I'm not coughing, I'm fine. It's just, I think I just passed out. And so they came in, they took my blood pressure, which was not too bad. I take blood pressure medication anyhow, but I think my blood pressure was like 128/71 or something like that, which they said was fine. My oxygen level was like at, I think it was 97 or 98%, when they put that little thing on your finger. And so they helped me up and got me into bed. They talked to me and, asked me all the normal questions, what's your name, what's your birthday, where do you live, who's the president, all that good stuff. And so then I got all done, and so then the fireman or the paramedic or whoever he was, he said, so why do you think you passed out? And I said, because I'm a 70-year-old woman who was like an idiot yesterday and didn't eat anything. And he says, well, why didn't you eat yesterday? Do you not have any food in the house? And I said, no, because it was Good Friday. And he said, oh, that's right, I forgot. He said, we've been so busy, I've lost track of the days of the week. And so I said, well, yeah, I've come to the realization that at 70 years old, I can't skip a meal anymore. So he says, no, that wouldn't be a good idea. He said, I can bring you to the hospital if you want. And I go, oh, I am not going to the hospital. That's where all the people are that are sick. And he said, well, we're told not to encourage people to go to the hospital, but if it's a life-threatening situation, you need to go to the hospital. And I said, is this a life-threatening situation? He says, I don't think it's a life-threatening situation. I think that it's like you said, that you just didn't eat. But if you want to go, I'll bring you. And I go, I don't want to go. And he said, well, I personally don't think you need to go, but it's not for me to decide, it's for you to decide. You make the decision. And I go, no, I think I just need to eat something. And he says, and I think that's a good thing. He said, so we're not going to be back next year, the day before Easter? And I go, oh, no, I'll be eating. So, they packed up their stuff and they left, and then Jim went and got me some peanut butter crackers and a glass of orange juice and some water. And so he stayed in the bed. So I stayed in the bed and ate my peanut butter crackers and drank my juice. I had a banana and went back to sleep and slept for another 4 hours. And I've been fine ever since. So I was kind of putting off telling my kids. And then the other day I decided, it's time to tell. It's time to tell. Because it's been 3 weeks. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. And, I called and talked to the doctors. We did one of those teleconference things. And we did determine that was because the 70-year-old woman forgot that she's 70 years old. Well, I'm not 70 yet. I'm going to be 70 in September. But close enough. Close enough to realize that I can't do that anymore. And you know what? God doesn't expect that of me. I know that. So next year I'll just figure out a different way to sacrifice. But it won't involve food because I've realized that. So with that being said, for the last 3 weeks I've been eating a little bit more. Staying within my plans, eating a little healthier, but trying to get my 3 meals in, trying to eat a little bit more each time I eat. And so that can probably contribute to the fact that I'm not losing as fast as I did during Lent. I just think that all through Lent, when I wasn't eating, that not eating on that particular day was the cherry on the sundae. It was the one that said, Sandy, you need to eat. And it wasn't like for Lent, it wasn't on Fridays that I don't eat to lose weight. And even during Lent, it wasn't to lose weight. It was just what I do for Lent. It's what I do every year for Lent. I lose weight every year for Lent, and then I gain it back after Lent. I'm not going to do that this year, although I gained it the last couple of weeks, but I don't plan on doing that again. So I'm going to stay on track. I'm going to stay on plan and eat properly, not go crazy, and take better care of myself. Because as much as I like to think I'm a spring chicken, I'm not a spring chicken anymore. So I want to celebrate my birthday in September. I want to celebrate everybody else's birthdays between now and whenever I do decide to pass. And I just love singing to people, and I don't want to stop that tradition that I have going. So anyway, now that I've talked on for 11 minutes, it's time for me to go for my walk. So I will talk to you guys at breakfast. See you then. Okay, let's eat breakfast. I have a cup of tea. My water's in the other room already. Today is Saturday, May 2nd. My quote is, if you believe in yourself, everything is possible. It's a 10-point breakfast, 0 for my eggs, berry, tea, and water. 3 points for my bacon, 4 points for my bagel, and 3 points for my peanut butter. It's a 10-point breakfast. I still have 13 points left, plus my 42 weeklies. Well, I was debating whether or not I was going to mention this. As you see, I didn't show you my dinner. I had a grilled cheese sandwich for my dinner. But I think I jinxed myself by telling my kids about my little incident about 3 weeks ago. I'm going to ask you guys to say some prayers for me tonight. Jim's in the hospital. He was having some chest pains. And we called the doctor, and they took him to the hospital, and I'm not allowed to be with him. And so his EKG, he didn't have a heart attack, but his EKG showed that he's having some major heart issues. So he's spending the night, and then tomorrow they're going to do a stress test and determine what's going on with him. So I'm scared. I'm telling you. But anyway, if you could say some prayers for Jim, I'd really appreciate it. I'm sure it's just going to be something very minor that I'm not going to have to worry about, but I'm alone. My family, my kids are going crazy because they can't come over here to be with me. I know they could, but they're worried about me, and so they're constantly calling me, checking on me to see how I'm doing. But if you knew Jim, you know that this has got to be serious, because Jim never complains about anything, you know. So, and then only because Jim and I have the driest sense of humor. I can't ever explain it any other way. That when he was going and they told me I couldn't go with him, they said that you know, he said, well, I said, well, you got to be really bad if you know, like if you're doing this. And he said, well, I was trying to think of the alternative, and I just figured if I had a heart attack and died, and you did an autopsy and found out it was something I could have done, you'd come back and kill me again. Jim and this is our humor. It's like black humor, I know, but it lightened me up in the moment, because it was like he still has this sense of humor. But you know, obviously we're both scared, so. If you could say some prayers for Jim, I really would appreciate it. I will do a quick little video tomorrow, because we have a birthday. And, you know, as Robert Frost says, life goes on. and life will go on. Jim's going to be fine. I know he is. But I'll give you an update on what they say. He's got a stress test scheduled for 8 o'clock in the morning. They have him hooked up to the heart monitor, and they have some IVs going for him to be comfortable, and obviously they got the thing on to check his oxygen levels. He's in a room with 4 other people, but they've partitioned it off so that, you know, he's somewhat like, I guess he said there's 3 walls around him and a curtain. And they gave him a mask to wear when any of the nursing staff comes in to take care of him. And, you know, it just sucks. It just sucks that I can't be with them. So, thank you. Say some prayers.